my worst experience. It was basically like wasting almost 4 years of my life.
Ooh.
I would just say that, but right now I don't believe in relationships unless like you are ready to get married. Unless you're like dating to get married, I don't think people should be dating, which is wrong.
What?
And that's what I believe. Unless you're ready to get married, you shouldn't be dating.
All right, welcome back to another episode of AfroVivid. We got two special guests with us today. Minnie, your turn to be building.
Woo! What's up, y'all?
Okay.
I know you gotta come with the energy.
Right.
Hey, man. You know, we also have Yulia in the building.
Hello. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
And
That's
of
good.
course,
That's good.
And of course, Medis also in the building.
I'm back.
How you guys feeling, man? How's your weekends going so far?
So far, so good. I can't complain.
Okay.
It's been a lazy day for me too, so
Why is that?
I've been chilling all morning.
Is it the weather?
Yeah.
It's a little cold today too. It's been windy.
Yeah, I think it was Thursday was way nicer.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday was bad,
hot.
yeah.
Yeah. No, today I woke up. I woke up at like noon today. I was like, the day's gone, y'all. But it got sunny. I think like later on in the afternoon. So.
No, in the morning too.
Definitely look forward to spring.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't like the cold
I don't
too much
either.
now.
Yeah. Just
When the spring start? I mean, it feels like when it's
March
already.
20th.
Yeah,
March,
we're getting
yeah.
there because the flowers are blooming too.
Nice.
I know.
Have you guys been to this? What's the place in DC where they have like? Is it the blossom flowers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
cherry
cherry
blossom.
Cherry blossom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
my
never
friend-
been to that one.
You've never?
Really? Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, you should go.
Yeah, my friend just told me about it today, so we're planning on going there probably tomorrow. That'll be my first time too.
Go early. Like the earlier you can go, the better.
Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah, because
So,
people everyone does like photo shoots.
So
like,
that's all they do. Just take pictures.
Hey, you know,
literally just take pictures. That's
yeah, people
all they
travel
do.
like from far just to
Yeah.
come take photos of those flowers, you know.
like
So you better make a
glam,
good
Right.
use
full
of it.
glam. Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know. Was it Japan or China? They got a whole like section where it's just the trees just lining up.
Yeah,
Really?
Japan, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any plans for the weekend? For tomorrow, pretty much.
What am I doing tomorrow?
Saturday.
We're
almost.
probably going
Oh.
out tonight, so
Yeah, we're going salsa dancing tonight. Actually,
What's that?
salsa dancing.
Salsa dancing. What's that? I don't even know what's that.
Okay.
The Hispanic dance? Okay.
I like y'all
Nice.
just use the sound and just
Like the hips. Yeah, it's one of my friends is in town. One of my friends from college, so we're gonna meet up with her and her friends can go salsa dancing.
Okay, that sounds like something that we can do.
Yeah, y'all got some. You can dance with your hips. That's
I got some experience in it.
Are you there?
Yeah, high
you're a
school.
bad dancer.
I am, but high school. High school. I took a Spanish course, and yeah, I was helping out the teacher. I took it
nice.
2
Oh, really?
years, and then she called me back to help out. We used to go to like the auditorium
Oh,
to like teach students.
you gotta show us some moves after this.
I used to do the bachata, merengue, and all that
okay.
stuff. But now I'm bad at it, so it's been long.
You'll remember.
I'm not that old, but it's been
Yeah.
long. Yeah.
Yeah, dancing is like that's the only one thing I know for sure. Like I have no skills on. Like when I do dance, it's like straight up comedy, pretty much.
And I don't care. It's like a lot of times I just dance, just
Yeah.
shake. I don't care if I know how to dance, don't know the move, whatever it is. Because when you think about it, that's when you be like, I don't want to dance, but just move.
Yeah. I don't think you need to be a good dancer to dance. You know what I mean? Yeah, you should look crazy. Like, and if you're not embarrassed, then what does it matter if anyone else is watching you?
It's
Yeah.
no fun in it. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. As long as you got like the 1-2 rhythm, I feel like that's good enough. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
go with then how the beat goes. If the beat goes dun, you just move.
You'd
If
be
it goes
surprised
boom,
how
boom,
hard
and then you just move.
that is for some people.
It
bro.
is, yeah.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, a lot of times I just move my hands, move my feet, and I'm good.
Okay.
And then I use my head and just keep it simple. I'm not a dancer, but shit, definitely bust out some moves.
Yeah.
Literally
you
one
can
way to
just,
find
like-
out.
Yeah, you really got to show some off after this. You're
Oh.
talking about your
Oh, you can
moves.
show us right now.
Yeah, you could.
You can show us right now since you're so good at
I'm
dancing.
not ready yet. It gotta be in a good spot. Not right now.
Okay. But just so you know, they plan on bringing the heat on us today. So our topic today actually is gonna be relationship based. So I think they have questions there or like specific topics
No,
You wanna-
if you have questions, you can ask first.
Hey, I would just let you guys jump right into it if you do.
I don't think we have like
Yeah?
any that we.
We talked about it last night
Mm-hmm.
about like non-negotiables and like
Yeah, okay, that's the
Okay.
first question. What are your non-negotiables in a relationship?
Muhammad, you want to go first? I haven't thought about that yet. I think I have a good idea.
You can go ahead.
don't be shy.
I'm trying to think.
Another question, yeah.
I'm trying to think. Oh man. Shoot. I mean, I just feel like you gotta like me, because if you don't like me, that's like I can't just be the only one chasing you.
Okay.
You know, to me that's something. You know, and which one again? Oh, another thing is, I mean, I won't find out until maybe we start dating. Like, for example, I hate when you take my shit, right, and you don't put it back where it's supposed to be. I don't like that. Like, put
Like
it
your
where
hoodie?
Yes.
just
I'm
like-
not saying you can use it.
Make
use
sure
it,
you
right?
bring it back. It's fine.
Right. No, use it, right? But just remember to put it, because I don't like looking for shit.
Okay. I
That
get
shit gets me crazy. If I have to look for shit, it's like, you know, then I'm gonna start looking stupid. I don't like that. For some reason, I just don't.
Do you like having? Do you like having a system to a lot of things that you do? Do you think that's why?
Maybe because I like planning. So I like knowing ahead of time, you know, where I see things,
Yeah.
and how I want it to be, in a sense. You know, not necessarily saying you have to do it that way, but it has to be like compromise. You
But
know?
no, it's fair. I think I would be like, don't touch my shit. Like, if you're gonna use it, put it exactly where you found it. Like, I like the whole concept of having like a system. You know what I mean? Being able to be like, okay, like my toothpaste was here, and it was closed. Like,
Right.
please put it back the way you found it, type thing. So yeah, I respect that. I think that's kind of a fair. I feel like a
I
fair
think you guys
non-negotiable.
both are uptight.
You think
Oh,
so?
we are.
Life is not that deep. Like
Well, no,
Fighting
that's
over
just
stuff.
that's annoying. Like,
It's annoying. I'm not saying it's that, but it's just annoying knowing that I have to look for my stuff.
That you put somewhere.
You know, it's like, why should I look for my stuff? Like, I put it there, I left
or
it
you could
there.
just ask.
But I can't be asking you all the time. Come on now.
It just takes
Yeah.
like 2 seconds out of your time.
Nah, that's
More, but that's a lot of time.
Honestly, I just wanted to
accumulating. It
argue.
that's
accumulates.
energy. That's energy right there. I want to save my energy. Go ahead, Sal.
For me, I feel like it's like respect, man.
Yeah.
I think there have to be I mean, sometimes, you know, we can joke and all that, but you have to know like when to be serious, like respectful. Because I mean, you can easily get in like after the honeymoon phase and all that.
All right.
Sometimes like even like the slightest stuff, like you can just throw like, you know, cursing words and stuff like that. And I feel like a healthy respect can like take like a lot of relationship like really long way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
That's
agree.
that's good. That's deep.
real. Yeah, I was like, I really like that answer. That's a good answer.
How are you guys?
Oh, that's tough. You go first.
Wait, that's your question.
I feel like I have a lot of non-negotiables.
Okay.
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah. We got the
got
weekend.
All right, to start with, somebody who has no relationships with God, I can't. Like, I can't even.
So, in terms of relationship, how about if the person is a different religion from you?
That's a tough question. It's gonna be hard for me to.
So, if you don't mind me asking?
I'd rather not disclose.
Okay, but let's assume that person is a different religion, or maybe they don't believe in nothing at all.
I'll try to teach the person. I try not to get myself in situations like that to start with. But if I did, I'll try to teach that person, and I'm open to like learning new things too at the same time. But like I want somebody to believe in like a higher power, at least, if anything. Like it can't be like an atheist or like somebody who don't believe that God exists. Besides that, I can't tolerate somebody who don't respect his own family, and I want
That's a good one. Yeah.
how he treats his, siblings, his mom, his dad, says a lot about, and like how he acts in like public, like going out to eat, and then like how he treats the waitress or the waiter. Things like that are like my non-negotiables, and I get turned off so quick. It's,
Okay.
Okay, it seems like you've really thought about this.
I mean, it's like, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, but I mean, I echo like everything that you said also, especially when it comes to religion, right? Um, when you're raising a family, right, it's always necessary to like have that God fearing, because certain things that we do or say, right? Sometimes just the thought of religion, or like just knowing that there's a super being like watching you, it kind of like keeps us like in the right path at
Right.
times. So I feel like I definitely agree to that also.
Yeah, that's fair. I was gonna say, would you guys marry outside of your religion?
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah.
This was like straight, yeah.
It depends.
No, the reason why I say that, right, because I usually get this question a lot, and because the way I see it, right, for me, like I will always like try to find like the best person for me, right, even if they don't happen to be in my religion, but at least if they have like that God fearing, that's like a huge step, because sometimes like the religions, there's not that much difference, right? But people just make it seem like you're not my religion, you're going to hell, pretty much.
Right.
At the end of the day, like most of us, like we all walking towards the same path. So, and also like I can easily like marry somebody in my religion, right? But they may be the worst person ever.
No, it's true.
So
Yeah.
Agreed.
I don't just want to limit myself to that, to my religion, very much.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I feel like, yeah, like you kind of said it right too. I feel like knowing that something else exists, like, puts you in a position of like on a good track. Like, it puts you on that realm of being like, I want to do this, so I'm going to do good, and I want to go to this place or whatever, whatever you believe in. Yeah, so I get that. I think it's important to kind of have like, if you don't believe in religion, just have like a high moral ground or like a high moral standing. So like your own moral code, whatever that is to you. Because I think religion can sometimes get skewed in different ways in the ways we interpret the same religion, right? So when we have like, I think moral code versus like that conversation of moral code versus religion, I think if you have like a good understanding of, respect, integrity, respecting your parents, all those things I think come with like your morals. Mm-hmm. You learn it through religion, but essentially it's moral. So I think sometimes if you don't necessarily believe in religion or would have a God or something that you follow, I think if you have that like strong moral ground, I think is kind of like the only big thing for me, and then communication probably. So people just, I think when you miscommunicate on just like simple things, especially like I feel like the way we all meet people in our generation is like social media, like you DM someone and everyone has like this weird, like we're talking where we're not talking, and like no one knows where they are, right? So I'm kind of just like, be honest, right? Like, you want to date? Let's date. You want to hook up? Let's hook up.
To the point.
Like, we're adults, right? Like, don't waste each other's time, because I think then people start resenting each other when they're not communicating on things. So I think everything can be like talked through, but it just needs to be brought up, you know? So yeah, that's it for me, I think.
What are like some of like the bad experiences you guys have been through?
When it comes to like dating,
Yeah.
woo,
Yeah. Where do we start? Where do we start?
We need
They
some
got a hell of a
examples,
list.
man.
You want like 2021, 2020, 2019?
No, just pick just at least one like worst experience.
Like top
Like,
of your
and, like-
mind, top of your head, pretty much.
I mean, you want to go? I have one.
no, you go first.
Yeah. I thought I was like in a relationship essentially with someone, and then I found out we weren't in a relationship. Basically, like we were kind of just like doing, and I think this is where I realized I really need a lot of communication. We were doing things like a couple. We were like essentially like I was at his house, like we were living together like 3 to 4 days out of the week, like all that stuff. But then when he talks to me and he tells me things, he tells me one thing, and then I hear from like
Other people.
other friends that he's saying something different. And on top of that, like he's just like trying to make me feel better, and then trying to like, appease himself from like whichever angle he's coming from. And I tried to communicate. Like I like to communicate, but I'm not the best at it. So like I always try to work on it. And we just kept talking about it, and he's like, you just rush things, da-da-da. And I'm like, you said that. I would never rush something if you didn't tell me that you wanted that. So I think just people need to be honest and communicate. And I think that's probably what I learned from that, and not to like give everything to someone if they're not like willing to at least show me that. Like I think you need to say something, but you need to back it up. And he just never backed it up. And she was kind of like involved in this because we were like dating. We were dating friends, so like everyone would go back and forth. Back and forth.
I wouldn't call
so
it
I was
dating.
finding.
I did
finding
not
out
date
things from,
anybody.
like,
I don't know why you're saying that.
She was friends with one of his friends. They used to go on coffee hangouts, coffee friend dates, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Those were not dates.
Sounds like they too.
Let the record reflect that they were dating. But yeah, it just did not. Yeah, so I was finding out things from her, from him, from every angle, and yeah, basically he's just talking shit out of his ass, and so yeah, it just didn't work out. But I learned a lot from it, so you move on, I guess.
Don't look at me, you guys. I want you guys to go first.
No,
I will. I will tell
ask
you.
the question.
Yeah,
Right.
so you have to go.
Okay, my worst experience. It was basically like wasting almost 4 years of my life.
Ooh.
I'll just say that. But right now, I don't believe in relationships unless like you are ready to get married. Unless you're like dating to get married, I don't think people should be dating, which is wrong.
What?
And that's what I believe. Unless you're ready to get married, you shouldn't be dating. And I was doing that back in college, and it costed me a lot. So now I've come to terms with myself that unless I see myself getting married to this person, I'm not gonna date.
Okay, you say unless you're getting ready to marry, that's the reason why you should date. So let's say we're like in teens, right? 17, 18. Does that apply at that age also?
If you're ready to get married at 18, yeah, but like you should be at least of age. You can't just get married at 17. You have to be an adult.
But I feel like 17 and 18-year-olds don't even know what it means
Yeah.
to like marry.
I know some people who got married at 18 and who are living a very good life, like happy married life. So it's never too early, or like you're never too young to get married, but like you have to know what you want. And people are going through a lot of bad things in their lives because, we're not doing the right thing, which is like people are just having sex, just casually dating.
Right.
And that complicates a lot of things, and I don't think it's right. And I had to learn that like through experience. I didn't think like this like 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
That's fair. Yeah. I just
That's
feel like
fair enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like your brain doesn't even like develop until you're like what 20, 25, 24?
My brain still is developing.
No, but I'm saying like how do you know marriage is such a like a
You gotta be at a
huge-
certain age
yeah,
where you
to truly
start thinking
understand.
about it.
Yeah.
Where it's like before even you start dating, your mind goes there. But I feel like as a teen, even like 20, 21, 22, you just date, and then if you fall in love, you like the person, then maybe they start saying, okay, well, I like this person.
Yeah.
And then they get married. But I don't think before them starting to date, they immediately think about marriage right away.
No,
but
if
at
they
a
don't-
certain
what I-
age, you do.
You do
Once
have
you
to
get
date
to like
know
that,
if you're
yeah.
gonna marry the person or
Yeah,
not.
because the thing with like dating as well, right? It's very important for like you to have like sometimes different experiences, because one, like you may feel like I like this person very much, but maybe it's just the looks that's deceiving you, right? I don't know if you spend like so much time with that person, like the looks don't even matter anymore. Then you need to find like another reason why like you want to be with that person for like a long period of time. And if you just like jump into it once, like you may be very lucky to like meet like the perfect match for you, but at the same time that's gambling, because
is
like
gambling.
you just
Yeah.
sometimes we feel like we know ourselves pretty well, but you don't really know. Sometimes like we get better from like bad experiences because we get to learn so much about ourselves. And,
I think
Story of my life.
I think it's a good point.
What did you say?
I said story of my life.
start of your life, okay?
It's gonna get better.
Experience is not bad.
It's gonna get better.
Yeah. But I think it's a good point. You should have a plan. Like the intention saying, okay, well, if I'm gonna date, it's either something that's gonna be okay for marriage, right? But at the same time, sometimes you might have that intention where you start dating this person and both of y'all, was like, okay, yeah, we dating to get married, but then things don't work out. So to me, there are like a lot of reasons why sometimes things don't work out. You just gotta, again, not just like what he alluded just now, not just date just because of the look, but date because of, in terms of character, family wise, if you're into
Someone that brings you
family,
happiness. Pretty much.
right? In terms of how you feel when you're around that person. That way, once you get past, like once that all that lovey-dovey phase pass, you have more reason to love the person, to be with the person, where it's just not the looks, because the looks can go. The behavior, they might put up a behavior just to get you. That can go because they can't keep it up, for that long.
Yeah.
So you just have to have few reason to say, okay, well, I'm marrying this person because of this, and this. Not just one thing or not just two. You gotta have more reason to love them more.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree too. Yeah.
Do you believe people change over time?
I do. Anybody could change.
Why? Go ahead.
So I think people in who they are, like in their essence, don't change. I know myself, right? Like I feel like everyone says they've done the work, whatever. Like, you grow, you develop, you you go, you seek whatever help you need, whatever the case may be. But I think like your personality doesn't change. Like I can be stubborn. I'm always gonna be stubborn, but I may manage how I like react to things or like how I show off that stubbornness, but I don't think like I would ever change like who I am in my essence, you know what I'm saying? But I think people can like grow and expand in the things that they already are and like the better ways to do them. Like I think there's a bad way to be stubborn, for example, and then there's a good way to be stubborn. So I think like it's like we still use that, but we're directing it towards something better.
So what if your behaviors are like hurting somebody?
Right.
You can't just be like, this is how I am.
Well, I mean, but
hurting
people are
someone.
like that. They're like assholes and like, or like really blunt people are like, this is just how I am, and if you don't like it, deal with it. Like there are people like that, and then people accept that if they want to accept that in their lives.
That's why the dating
And they
scene is
don't.
just
Right.
ugly now.
Because
people don't
it's
wanna
always
change.
chaos.
Yeah, it is always chaos. I mean, but I think that's what I mean. I think it's like everyone I think in this world has someone else on this like earth for them, whether or not you like that person or you agree with how they are in terms of how they behave, how they think, whatever their opinions are on life. There is probably someone out there that agrees with them or is like willing to accept that of them. So I don't know. I feel like if someone's an asshole, he has friends who are probably okay with him being an asshole. But if you don't want to be around that, that's just not because it doesn't align with your morals or your values. You just don't need to be around it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mayotte still didn't tell us her non-negotiables.
I just,
Right.
putting it out
I
there.
said if you're was it communication and then what was the other one? Oh
You gotta be straightforward, I think. Is it?
no, it was you guys. How did I forget? I even just said it. I think it's communication and like morals, like strong morals. That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
And going back to the
tell me
guys,
about
your worst experiences, please.
man.
She's not gonna let that go.
Nuh-uh.
She's not gonna let that go.
Let me think.
I can
I'm
go
very
first in this
interested.
one.
He said I got it.
Worst experience. Not sure if. Okay, I would say my first breakup was like the worst I've ever felt in a relationship. I mean, it's mostly because like I just didn't know like what it feels like, and pretty much like what happened is, I mean, we just got to a point where like she just wasn't communicating. She just wasn't being straightforward, right?
How long were you guys together?
How long? Probably like a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we did have like nice experiences, and but later I get to find out that she said that she was going through like a lot of stress and stuff. So, but in my mind, I feel like that should have been communicated, right? Like you don't just like leave, like you like just like that. But at the time, I just didn't know like how to handle it, and my other ones like I haven't had that much bad experience really, because like usually when they slowly start dying out, like I try to like focus like on myself first. Like I look for those signs, right? When things don't seem right anymore, then I would try to like communicate first. Like if nothing seemed to happen, then I start like preparing myself also for like for like that slow fade pretty much. So I haven't struggled like much since then.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't had per se worse experience, but I've been at a point where I started talking to people and then communication don't go nowhere. So I like same thing as him. If I don't see stuff going the way it's supposed to be, I'ma just look at it and just let it die. To be honest,
Cut it short.
right? I mean, I don't, cause I don't have time to be, you know.
Yeah.
I think the other thing about that also is just being very specific, like who you going to date, right?
Right.
Like, because if you do like your homework like before that, then you pretty much have like a good sense, like who you going with, right? But if you just jump into a relationship with like somebody that like you don't even know that much, right? And you don't even know their value, or sometimes you may like see like as some people say, like red flags. You may see those red flags, right? But let's say looks just like overtook your mind, and you just be like, ah, man, I'll be the one to change this girl. I'm not sure that's where you want to be, man. I'm not sure that's where you want to be, because I mean, you're gonna get into it. It's gonna feel like very good at the first couple months, maybe like even a year, but eventually, like you get to see the true colors. Then
Yeah.
sometimes like people get to hurt themselves really bad, but I'm not gonna blame like that person that that I got myself into. Like I should have known better before going into it, you know.
I feel like I kind of like the concept of dating people I don't know anything about, because I feel
Really?
like I don't know.
You
what
love risk like that, huh?
Yeah, I do. Like, I live life on the edge.
For me,
Okay.
that's perfectly fine, right?
Yeah.
But if you're gonna date someone you don't know, you shouldn't go into it thinking, yeah, this is my soulmate.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, it should just be
100%.
like, we just going out
We're
for
testing the
drinks,
water.
Yeah,
right?
so
Just so
good
you
to
can observe the
compatible.
person, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
find out more information about it. But that's just, it should be the mindset of just, I'm just dating you.
Yeah.
Just go get a drink, and then we say bye bye. I go to my house, you go to something like that, where you just kind of get to know the person, and they get to know you as well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's not like you have to know the person for like good 5 months to like a year first, right? Because just like what you said, right? Like sometimes, like even like the slightest stuff. Let's say like we go on a date, right? And the way that you speak to like the waiter, that can tell you a lot about
Yeah.
somebody. Or
Yeah.
like you just like around them and their family, right? And the way they respond to their parents.
So different.
You know, things like that. You have to be on very. You have to look out for stuff like that, because if you respond to like your mom like in a specific way, you know that this is not just like a coincidence. It didn't just happen today. Like
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Usually people show you, like, I think people always wait for that end, like, crazy moment, right, where they realize, like, oh, he has anger problems, or he has an attitude or something. But I think if you kind of, like, take it, like, when you go on a date, right, like, you have to be a little bit objective how you perceive people, because I think we like to give people the benefit of the doubt to see, like, oh, they're probably decent, or they're, a nice person, whatever the case may be. But like you said, like, if he's giving it, like, just a slight attitude to the waiter, that to me means he's going to give someone else a more attitude, like, at the end when he's more upset about something, for example. So I think it's like, you see red flags early and you cut them off if they're, like, a problem to you. I think everyone has, again, like, their own versions of, like, red and green flags, but...
It's not fair for you to do it right away. Probably a second date and
Yeah,
observe
fair.
it.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
I think it's different for guys and females because,
Yeah.
like, with us, we literally show you guys if we're crazy, you would know within like 3 days.
I don't think so.
But
I
men,
don't believe that.
like me, I can't hide who I am. I can't like try to be like somebody I'm not. But with guys, since like you guys are like chasing us or whatever, like you guys show us a complete different human in the beginning,
Yeah.
and you start to think, oh, okay, like this might be the right guy for me, and then bam, like a month later, you guys are completely different people.
I feel like you just get complacent. That's
But
the word.
don't
Like, y'all
don't
just
you
get
feel like
comfortable.
right? Don't you feel like maybe you guys rush into things?
That's what
Do
I was
you
thinking.
feel like-
I was thinking that also.
We rush into things
Could be
because
that.
y'all sell a romance. No, don't do that. I
feel like I rush things.
because I feel like guys are so like over the top when they first meet you. Like it's a like love bombing. Like it's very much you're beautiful, you're this, you're this, you're this. So of course a woman falls in love with what she hears. So of course y'all know exactly what you're doing, and you're like I feel like a lot of times guys go into a position where they're like I'm gonna like romance her, like make her kind of like it's like you have to essentially have us warm up to you. But for us, that's like you basically saying you're ready.
No, but
Not
the-
ready, but like you're
Right.
willing to kind of take that step. You
And
know?
that's why we should not tell them anything.
If we don't show
At
you
all.
guys, you might be like, oh, he's not into me.
But I think some people take it far, like too far. Like
Yeah,
some
you
people
have to
go,
show it.
Like
Yeah, that might just be us showing that yes, we do like you, but maybe that don't mean like let's right away, like today, be my girlfriend. Not like that,
Not
but
that-
it's just showing,
No, but you're
I'm
right. No, that's
interested
true.
in
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So that's why I'm doing all these things to show that I'm interested in you.
Yeah. I think also like people should just communicate what they're looking for.
Right.
Like I think people go into this with like into whatever, right? And they're like, "Oh, I want to date to, like you said, get married, or like I want to date to like just date and have fun." Like that can be a thing. You could just be like, "I want to date a bunch of people to go date a bunch of people." Like that is perfectly fine. But I feel like people, like one person goes in, like, the woman goes into the relationship thinking like, "Oh, he's ready to like be in a serious relationship." Like if that's what you're looking for. And then, he comes to the relationship being like, I just want to fuck, like, basically, or something like that. So I think it's like everyone again needs to be aligned on what they want out of something. So I think that's probably the most important part.
Okay.
Agreed.
Good points. But
I'm still kind of like just processing it, but sometimes we, us guys, we go into these, situation where we genuinely feel good about, how things are going, but come down the line, we just, it's just something, and it might be just, again, we go through stress that we don't show emotions. We kind of mask it out. We don't show you guys nothing like that, but that can affect how whatever relationship. If I'm going through a whole bunch where it's literally affecting the time that that I should be spending with you, but instead I'm using that time to like either handle whatever situation I'm going through, that's gonna affect it. Yeah. And then you guys are gonna be like, well, why'd you stop hanging out with me, or you're not talking to me, this and that. You're not like spending as much time as you used to be. But stuff like that can hinder the relationship going forward. So that's when a lot of time guys, we hit the break, where we trying to like observe and see, okay, well, is this really gonna affect, what we got? And if we're getting pressure from you guys, always like telling us, well, you need to hang out with me more, then we're gonna look at it and say, okay, well, maybe this isn't gonna work out. Because now I'm trying to, whatever stress I'm dealing with, I'm trying to handle it. But then if you're telling me now I have to divide my time, that can also mess up a relationship sometimes. Yeah.
This is exactly what I meant earlier when I said, like, figure your shit out and then start dating when you're ready to date for marriage. But if you got to fix your life, fix your life beforehand. Why are you fixing your life in the middle of a relationship?
Always.
Like that's never, like saying like you have a goal and once you reach the goal, that's it. Like you're not doing anything.
It's else. never like a done where I have everything that I want.
Yeah.
Honest, I mean, I could have a job, right, and then start dating you, right, for example, and then all of a sudden, the relationship is going good, and all of a sudden I get fired from my job. Now it becomes like difficult for me to get another job. That's just a situation that happens. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not saying I had my life together before, but then now it's like I'm just like stuck. Those situations happens, but in terms of like married, yeah, I do get your point as well.
Do you? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you? Kind of just going back to what you were saying about. I forgot it. Go ahead. I'll come back to it. I just forgot.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was gonna say that's why like it's very important to like just not focus on looks, right? Because I mean, there's a whole lot of pressure on like especially like men to like just provide, and also just be the leader, and just even like competing like against other men as well for like the woman that they like and stuff. So that comes like a whole lot of stress of time, right? And if you like have to deal with like all that, masculine stress and stuff, and you have to go back home to like another stress, then it becomes like very difficult, right? But if you have like a person that always like inspire you to like that motivate you to like even like do more, right? That's where like you get to see like the alpha male pretty much, because they usually have like a woman behind them that just keeps them going, even though sometimes they like they may not even be as good as the woman is telling them to be, but right. Like when you have that type of like partner that just motivates you to like just keep going, like it changed like the whole dynamic like with just being with them,
Yeah.
Most of the most successful men in this world are like married, and like they always say, this is facts.
100%, yeah.
And they always talk about how, you know, the woman, like behind every successful man is a strong woman.
But again, right?
Uh-oh.
That raises a question for me, because a lot of times when we have a lot of time when a relationship don't work out, is because the woman, they got this power at work, right? They feel like, yeah, I can do everything for myself. That isn't it's a totally different, situation. But for example, I don't know who I can name or something like that, but let's say Bill Gates, right? It's not like his wife was working. I mean, she was working. No, she wasn't doing. She's like a housewife who, not saying you should be a housewife,
Yeah.
but you
I don't
shouldn't.
mind being a housewife.
Saying, but you shouldn't be like, yeah, I got my own shit, I don't need a man. Yeah, that's not gonna help a man out. That's
Yeah.
not supporting the man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I agree.
But what supports a man is like you still go do your job, but at the same time, okay, this is my man. I shouldn't be like, yeah, I can provide myself, because then the man's gonna look at you like,
It's
you
gonna
can-
feel useless
Right.
in that situation.
So then that's not helping. That's not like supporting.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna affect.
I agree. I think it's also kind of just like, but if I like, as a very independent person, I can provide for myself. Like I have everything I need financially, emotionally, like spiritually, like I am good. So I think when someone comes into the relationship, like when you're looking for someone, I hate that like narrative where it's like two halves become a whole. Like you are a whole person and he is a whole person. So what you bring to me is what I like seek. So like whoever I'm like dating or trying to be in a relationship with is someone that, not that I need to be in a relationship, but that I want to, because you help me fulfill whatever it is that I need to feel loved, to feel cared, whatever it is. So I think it's like we're in this very modern day where most women are like in positions where they can provide for themselves, and that's why more women are single now than they were 40 years ago. But I think as from a man's perspective, I understand like it comes from the need to provide, the need to care, the need to kind of be the protector, right? But at the same time, like I am now with you because I want you to be that for me, not because I need you. So I feel like as from a guy's perspective, you should be like, wow, she wants me. Like, because at the end of the day, like I don't have to be with you. Like I don't need you like at all. Like you don't need to do anything for me. But because you are someone that is so important to me and so valuable and so inherent to my growth, that I want you to be in my world and in my space. So I think it's like, I understand what you're saying. Like it is a challenge, right? Because it's like, it's shifting your whole narrative of what you've always learned that a man needs to be for someone. But at the same time, you have to look at it from the perspective of, wow, like she wants me around, even though like I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like it should take some pressure off you too, to say like, I don't have to do these things. Like I don't have to always do, like I don't always have to pay the whole, like all the bills. I don't always have to do that. Like, because she's there to support me and lift me up, but I'm also there to do it for her. And that's where like equality comes in a relationship. Like two people who are at their best becoming something that is like so beyond what you can imagine. And that's like the power of love. Like it's not two people that are like two holes, like two halves in this universe becoming one. We're our own person. I'm my own person. She's her own person. You guys are your own people. But you're finding someone else to even elevate that to like a power that like, that's the beauty of love. Like I sound like very like cliche, but like that's the power of like finding someone that's perfect for you and that like will get you to the best version of yourself. Like you do it for each other. It's not like, behind her, like you have to be behind her just as much as she's behind you.
Most women wouldn't think that way.
Yeah,
And most women will always have that mentality, but at the same time, be very disrespectful.
You're right.
And
absolutely.
most men just can't handle shit like that.
Yeah.
Some men can be like, okay, well, I can be like the stay home dad or something like that. Or I'm fine if I'm making less money, but it's the disrespect.
I want to say something about that.
Go ahead.
Thinking you're a strong, independent woman is not a problem, because I think I'm a strong, independent
It's
woman
not at
myself.
all.
It becomes a problem when you're like too masculine about it, when you want to be like, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, because like I grew up seeing my mom and dad, and they've been married 27 going on 28 years
Congrats.
now. And I've seen my mom, like I feel like I believe in gender roles. I don't know about a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people disagree with that. But I feel like by nature, women, we're like nurturers, we're givers. And that works. That's been working for like a lot of years. And then now people want to change like the narrative of like how it should be, and that's why it's not going the right way, because like what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter how many people agree with what's right and how many people disagree. I just wanted to say that.
So do you believe in like women doing the house, like cook?
That's what I was gonna ask.
I actually enjoy that, so I don't mind, but like if it depends, it's gonna depend on people. That's why you have to find your own person.
Yeah, for me, shit, you gotta know how to cook, man. I can't
most
be eating
Africans.
out. I cannot be eating out, man. Like too much, no. That's you gotta know how to know your way around the kitchen. No.
But so, like, do you, I guess from, like, the gender war perspective, I guess we've talked about this before, but I don't know, like, if we've talked about it in this, like, depth, but do you want to work? Like, if you were to be married, would you want to be, like, the housewife? Like, would you want to fully commit to the gender roles? Or would you want to kind of also be, like, a provider, you know, have a career?
I still want to work because I like what I do, and I still do what I want to do what I want to do, but I still feel like it's my responsibility to take care of my family. Because, like, who's going to feed my family? I got to feed my family.
But, like, if you guys are both working and you guys both decide to have children, he should be doing just
I think
as
I
much
will
to
work
help.
a lot less, so I
Right.
can, do what I have to do.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Because a lot of times, this is an example, right? In New York, there's like an African community where both parents always at work, no one's at home, and those kids like worse. And I'm telling you, because it has to be someone, at least, not saying, you know, your partner shouldn't, for example, the woman shouldn't go to work. You should work, of course. But the woman should always maybe work less. That way they come home when the kids are home, you know, watch them, make sure they don't do nothing stupid. Because if no one is home, I promise
I
you,
agree. Yeah, 100%.
it's going to be a trouble for them.
Yeah.
Like not even that. It's going to be worse.
It's mentally, so like psychologically,
Yeah,
of it.
and
I agree.
I mean, now it's like things are changing, but it's not working. Just like what you said, it's just not working.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like a supporter in terms of like what our parents have been doing. Right? They, you know, all of them work. It used to be like, you know, like our father used to like they're like the main provider, but our mother used to still, you know, they have like here and there shops in the market and selling stuff. Not saying they don't do that. They do all that stuff, but when they come home, they are the one, you know, who make sure the kids have food to eat and all that stuff. And the husband, of course, they do their own work as well. Well, some.
And do they?
Some do.
Yeah, I was
So
like,
some
do they?
don't. You know, but that helps.
Yeah.
Because if you look at where you are right now, your aunts, you know, your older brother, your siblings, they're not, you know, terrible because no one is perfect in this world.
Yeah.
But at least they've learned that moral lesson from their culture. You know, they can take that with them. But if no
And I
one's
love
home,
that for me.
that's cool. I think it's you know, it's dope, but it's not going that way. This like the way I'm looking at this generation. Just like what's they used to say, it's going down. But
Yeah, I think it becomes like very difficult, right? When for us, like we pretty much like have like different backgrounds, right? Our parents pretty much the way they did their marriages is completely different to how it's been done over here, and here like the woman can like easily be like the breadwinner of the home, right? And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
right?
there's nothing wrong.
You can be the breadwinner, right? But in order for like the relationship to like work like really well, like the man has to like feel like, you know, like he is the masculine at least. And we get to see that too with like kids, right? Like let's say a dad and the son, right? If the son, let's say the son like is a star, like a musician or like a basketball player, right? The son becomes like the breadwinner of the family, right? Him and the dad. It becomes very dicey for the dad to actually tell the son what to do when he's the one providing, and sometimes it becomes like very, very dicey for the son to actually listen to the dad, because he knows that yes, he's living up like under me, you know, he is living under my roof and stuff. So it's just some things like that. Like money can like just change like, you know, perspective of everything. When you feel like you're the one providing, you're the one putting the food on the table, you're the one paying the bills, you automatically you just feel like yes, you're the leader, or like you're supposed to be like the alpha.
So I got a question. Do you guys feel like do you feel like the term love is dying, or do you feel like it's coming alive? What's your take on it?
Go.
I think love has always been there, and it's not gonna die.
What is love though?
Right. Okay. Let's start there.
What is love?
I
Yeah.
love this question.
Or you can say, what's love
What is
to you?
love? That's a good question.
Being selfless is love to me. That includes a lot of things, but like the major thing I think is being selfless. What you expect people to do for you, you should do for other people too.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
I respect that. Like that. I think, I guess love is to me like the willingness to put. I think you said it the same way too. Selflessness. I think it's just the willingness to put someone's emotional and like spiritual growth over yours. I think to me, like any relationship you've ever been in, I think requires any type of like emotional respect, and you grow together, like whatever the case may be. But I feel like, to me, I think it's like kind of the willingness to put someone else's growth and whatever the case may be above yours. So again, like kind of just like you would sacrifice essentially a part of yourself or something for them.
And you do it
You think so?
happily.
And 100%. Because I think we use the term love a lot, but I think the value of the term of love is dying. Like, I don't think love is dying, but I think we just use it too often.
Right.
Like, hey girl, I love you. Like, we say it because I think a lot of times, like, it's just, I think social media probably says, like, people say illy, like, all that stuff all the time growing up, But I think the actual value of the term is dying. I don't think love is always going to exist, right? Like, if hate, there's like a balance in the universe. If hate exists, love exists. And I feel like, you see love every day when you talk to your family, or like when you talk to your siblings, and like you feel like there's like this feeling, like a warm feeling you can't describe. Like love exists in everyone, right? But I think the value of the term and how we use it is dying for sure. Yeah.
Like people just like say it like freely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree to that too, right? Especially, what's this thing called? Like some of the holidays that they celebrate here, right? Like let's say Thanksgiving or Valentine's Day, right? Valentine's Day, you see, like that's when a whole lot of people like feel like, oh man, I'm expecting something from this person for them to like show me that they really love me and stuff like that. I can pretty much do that, but I may not really feel that way, So that's where you saying like sometimes like people will do or say these things. Like I can easily say, man, I love you, man, but do I really mean it? But sometimes like my actions can pretty much show you that, right? Let's say we're just like walking on the road, right, and I happen to see like somebody like running like towards you to like come hit you and stuff. And I quickly just like shove you on the side and try to protect you, right?
Right.
Like that's subconscious thing that we do, right? That's how you get to determine like those things, right? And the reason why I'm saying this actually is because you did ask a question about like a bad experience in relationship, right? And so this one that I had, right? Because I'm not the best for that, like pretty much like saying like verbally like how I truly feel about people. I'd rather like sometimes like I would like show it, or sometimes I may just show like tough love, even with my little brothers, right? You may feel like we don't like I'm being like very hard on them, but it's because like that's just how I operate pretty much. And I was in this relationship. I mean, she's like her love language is like she need like all these affirmations and stuff like that. I'm not good at that, man. Like
How do you show love?
I was just gonna say, what's your love language?
how do I show love? Pretty much, I would say like just like the example that I give you, right? Like I'm very more like in person type of guy, right? Like when I can feel your vibe like in person, then I can get to do like certain things that I wouldn't like. You wouldn't expect me like do pretty much. So that's how I've been like I've tried like the affirmation stuff and all that, but it just doesn't seem authentic to me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I just feel like, oh man, I know that she want to hear this stuff, so let me just say it.
Right.
It
Now that's
doesn't- it
lying.
doesn't-
If you don't mean
Yeah.
it, you're just saying.
Yeah,
you're
it
lying.
doesn't. Yeah, but I feel like a lot of times, I mean, this person that was there, she was looking for that all the time, and like I just don't like just randomly say it just because you know.
Yeah, I think also there's a fine line between like words of affirmation and needing that versus being insecure, right? Like there's like you can say I need you to tell me like, you know, like I love you, like I care for you, whatever, but if you need it 24/7.
I do.
Yeah,
I'm the type of person
I don't
who
feel like
needs
you should be
it
asking.
24/7.
I don't feel like
So.
you should be asking for it also. Right? Like just let me like say it like when I really feel like. I feel like
It'll
it
come naturally.
Yeah, there is more value in it, right? When I say it when you're not even expecting it.
Yeah.
But if I just keep telling you like I love you like every single day, you start questioning that, man. What kind of love is it? Like,
Right.
Like, okay,
do you have to tell me that every single minute? Like,
Did
know?
you grow up with like hearing it a lot though?
No, I did not.
Okay, you see, so like some
That's
people
probably
like
why.
exactly. Some people like say it all the time, and it's because you know, like my mom used to say it to me, or my dad used to say it to me. So I think it's also like sometimes when you're a kid,
Yeah,
like I'm sure
maybe
your
that.
dad and your mom showed love to each other the way you want to. Like they do things for each other. Like he'll bring her a coffee or something, you know, like acts
Yep,
of service, right? So like for you, that's how you understand and define love. But for everyone, it's so different. Like which is why I feel like
So you
people-
must say it.
Yeah, you have to say it, like, say I love you. Yeah, for sure.
Another one too. Right? This she said, before you go into a relationship, right, you have to like ask me, like pretty much like you know like how people like propose like get married.
Right.
It's like
Yeah. That,
Some-
To like be her your
To
girlfriend.
be your girlfriend.
yeah.
Oh,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
that's a lot. Personally,
No, but
It's
she-
not a lot.
she
I mean, like he doesn't have to
requested
go
it.
down on
she's
his knees.
requested it, but where I'm coming from, right? Like if we're dating, right, to the point where like I mean, I've already told you like I had a time that yes, this is where I want to go, right? I don't feel like there has to be like a specific day where like I have to be like, man, today I want you to be my girlfriend starting from today. I feel like sometimes
But if
like,
that's what she wants, like, what do you have to lose? Why wouldn't you just do it?
I guess. Well, you see, that's where we get to like just like what she was saying, right? That's how we get to like men that like you know they will just say that just because they know that that's what you want to hear.
that's pretty much yeah.
right.
But I feel like it's you guys also have to I think be honest and just be like this is going too fast. I think you tried to like not hurt our feelings, but in the long term, you're actually hurting our feelings more.
Right.
By leading us on or whatever it is, and then saying, "Oh, like then you have a moment where you like blow up. You're like, oh, I don't want to be with you anymore." That hurts more than you making me wait like 2-3 months and then saying, "I don't think we should do this anymore." Like I think it's good to cut it, like when you need to cut it, and be aware of that.
I feel like sometimes it get too scary too for some men though. When the way you know, if I start hearing like somebody tell like we just started dating right, and you start telling me, "Oh man, you're gonna have my kids." Stuff. I was like,
Oh, I can't wait to see your family.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
That's
meet
too
your
much.
friends. And I'm like, calm down. Like in my head, I'm like, this is going way too fast.
How long do you guys have to date to know if the person is the right person for you?